We're good to go, Sarah?
Yeah.
We're live? All right. Anthony, if we've got the all clear, give us an okay if we are live.
Thumbs up.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome to Practice Acceleration podcast episode number 99. If you are watching this on our live stream on Facebook, type in hey, give us a like, let us know you are there. If you're listening to this in your car or you're walking or you're at the gym, then you are listening to a recording from our Facebook live session. If you want to join in the future, if you want to participate live like you should, then head on over to our Facebook page, Practice Acceleration, or you can check us out on YouTube or even on IGTV. Hello to our IGTV viewers. Love hanging out with you guys. Today, we've got a very special guest on our podcast. I'm going to introduce you in just a moment. This handsome fellow.
You're probably wondering, who's this guy on the couch with us?
Yeah, absolutely. He's not sitting here just like to separate us or anything like that. It's like, hey, he's actually going to contribute to the podcast. This is Ben Elliott. He is our mindset coach. Welcome, Ben.
Thanks for having me today.
We're really excited. So Ben has been working with us for a long time, with me personally, with Sarah, and also running sessions with our team and also our clients. So before we jump in, I want to give you a little bit of a background about Ben. So Ben, if I'm getting this correct, your company is called the High Performance Movement. Is that correct?
That's the one.
Fantastic. So Ben is a peak performance mindset coach. He helps business owners, leaders, athletes and entrepreneurs develop bulletproof, completely unbreakable and unshakable confidence and momentum. And you give great people like us strategies to go to the next level and unlock the realms of possibility, which we're potentially pushing to the side or holding ourselves back from.
Absolutely.
So 5 years we've been working together.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a good journey, and just seeing you go from strength to strength, the company go from strength to strength, like how much confidence does Sarah have these days?
She's off the charts. It's off the charts.
So yeah, it's been really great to be a part of this. So.
Yeah, well, we love working with you. So you've worked with myself and Sarah and our whole team. And like I covered before, you've done some amazing work with our clients at our events as well. And we love having you there. So thank you so much for joining us today. Guys, if you're watching this, we've got a KPI of 50 likes. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to take your business and life to the next level, type in PEAK, P-E-A-K, and we'll know that we've got your attention. Type in PEAK, click like, and also click share. Share this with anyone and everyone that you believe is wanting to go take their business to the next level. If you know someone, type in their names. So
you can tag them in so they can come back and watch this as well.
Yes.
But you're probably wondering, who is this guy kind of hanging out on the couch?
Who is this handsome
He doesn't
fellow?
normally hang out on the couch with us every single day. But yeah, so Ben, what I would love to know, before we get into it, what would you normally be doing today? Like, what have we taken you away from to hang out with us on the couch?
Yeah, it's not all just coffees and podcasts and couch chat. So what have we taken you away
What
from
would normally
today?
be on your calendar?
As much as coffee is a big part of my life, no, today is a typical day where I'll just be seeing clients. So today I've got clients over in South Africa. I've also got another one in overseas. So after this, I'll just be consulting one-on-one and also just helping out the clients in our longer-term program as well.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. I love that. So you have clients, you're helping them all over the world, South Africa, not just one-to-one in person, but you can get help all over the world, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, you also work with some of our friends in the United Kingdom as well. I know that, plus Australia and all the different states of Australia, which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, they're great people. So I'm going to ask another question in a moment about the types of people you work with. But before I do that, I just want to ask, what made you actually, how did you get to this point in time? Like, what was your journey? Or what made you get into peak performance coaching? That's a very specific niche. In order to do that, I know that you've got amazing results in your own life. You've got amazing results with clients. And now, that is your focus. So what made you really niche down into peak performance coaching for high achievers?
Well, I have to take you all the way back to when I was 5 years old. So I think I was born a high performer. I think a lot of people are born for high performers, but don't have the tools to get there. But at 5 years old, I picked up a basketball for the first time. And from the age of 5 right up to 21, I was just the most obsessed basketball player you've ever met in your life.
Awesome.
So what happened with me is I was used to pushing myself, training, doing all that kind of stuff. Got introduced into some mindset work, but I had a really interesting situation happen when I was about 18 years old. I was playing in the under 20 group. So when I was playing my own age group, I was one of the best players in the state. Without a doubt, I was scoring 20, 25 points a game, dominating.
Wow.
But what started happening was the very next night, Saturday night, we had a crowd of 200 people watching us, playing in the men's league. And all that confidence I had in one moment just didn't show up in the next moment.
Right.
So I was so confused why I could be dominating in one level, same skills, same strategies, but then the very next night, I couldn't even catch a basketball. I was playing to not lose versus playing to win.
Right.
And I had all these mindset blocks that really destroyed my basketball career. So I figured if I can figure out what's going on in the mindset here, how can we smash these blocks, then not only would my basketball career went somewhere, but also I'm thinking this is really the key here that's going to make people get the results they want in life.
Yeah, that is awesome. So you apply that to your basketball game, and I think like your sporting analogy is like a bit of a metaphor for how it's all played out, because you treat everything like it's like a peak performance sports match.
Absolutely.
I actually like completely like out of the blue, I was having a coffee 2 days ago at the local place in Kent Town, and a fellow came over to me and he said, hey, I see that you've done a lot of videos with Ben Elliott. He was actually the performance coach for us at the North Adelaide Football Club, and he was incredible. So like we know that you've been able to take that from basketball into other sports and now into business as well. So before we keep going, what I'd like to know is like, you work with a lot of our friends and colleagues and they all rave about you. I personally believe the people I hang out with all have a couple of common traits that makes them more coachable and they're more prone to get better results. So what would you say when someone comes to you, like what are the sort of traits they'd have about them that you'd recognize that all of your clients have common traits? What would those common traits be which make them more prone to getting better results with the right approach mindset-wise?
Yeah, so the approach mindset-wise is they are just ready to jump in. So a lot of the times when we're working on some of the stuff under the hood or some of the things that can be a bit sensitive where there's a comfort zone there, I'll send out the challenge, we'll hit the nail on the head. But what I noticed is that there's some people who feel that challenge and then they're uncomfortable, so they shrink back. But the ones who get the best results, they still feel a little bit uncomfortable about it, but they just jump into it, both feet, and they just don't hold back. They're the ones that are able to grab the information, they implement it, they apply it, and they're the ones who go from level to level straight away.
Yeah, 100%. They're just really ready to go for it. They want to jump in, and you know that they're up for the challenge, right?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Perfect. So Sarah, I believe that you've got the next question here.
And as you guys are joining, if you're liking this or have any questions, just type it into the comments.
Yes.
And then we'll circle back and make sure that we come in and answer your questions as well.
Yeah, so if you're watching this is especially important. Like our audience that follow us, we're all owners of healthcare businesses. Like we obviously believe in mindset lots, which you're going to touch on in a moment. Sarah, we got a lot of routines around that, and we know that it really is the hidden secret. Even if you have the right strategies, mindset is what uncovers and unlocks everything. So let's jump into your question.
Yeah, well, we believe mindset is so important, like we touched on before, Tristan, and running a successful healthcare business, you have to have the strongest mindset ever. Running a business full stop is challenging, and you're always breaking through different levels, coming up with different challenges, and if you think you're in business and it's going to be easy, it's not.
No, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard, and you're always going to have a different challenge that you need to solve. So we believe mindset is so important, but why do you believe it's so important in running a successful business, Ben?
Yeah. I feel like mindset is almost like the backbone of success, if that makes sense. It's the thing that keeps everything solid. So if we look at in business, there are so many moving parts, so many uncertainties, so many variables. So then if we can't get confidence and that sense of certainty from our environment, because we know everything's going to work out well, you have to build that certainty, that confidence on the inside. That's the thing that's going to allow you to do what you know you need to do, take bold steps forward. And also when things hit the fan, which they will, it's about how do you then control your emotions, control your mindsets. That way you can just implement strategy, do what you need to do, but also have the kind of leadership mindset that your whole team is not going to freak out. They're all going to see your strength and then kind of move forward. So mindset is really the backbone, I think, of success. Yeah. People talk about the strategies, which is fantastic, but the mindset key, if you don't have the mindset to implement or back it up, it's going to be either a flash in the pan success or you're just going to be limited.
Yeah.
You're going to be limited. You're not going to get to the full result that you can possibly get.
Yeah, your growth will be limited. You'll get to a certain point in your business and then you kind of you get stuck. You can't really break through that limit. So if you've ever felt like that, just type in me into the comments.
Yes.
I would love to know, because we've all felt like that before.
I have.
We felt
Absolutely.
like that before we got to chatting with Ben. We've all had those roadblocks that we kind of get stuck. And if you're currently feeling like that right now, it could be your mindset that's holding you back.
Yeah. Absolutely. So mindset, I just want to touch on as well, like it isn't about being positive all the time, because like if you like, we all know those people that like, I'll be honest with you guys watching, like we all know positive people, and sometimes I find them a little bit unbearable to be around, because I'm like, that's fake positivity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
oh, I'm really glad that happened. That was a great opportunity. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm great. Like, I just don't think like that. Like, I'm a realist. Yeah. And what's really been helpful for me with working around mindset is like, things are going to go wrong in business only every single day.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen unpredictably when you least expect it and when you least desire it. And what I've worked on a lot with you, Ben, and what we work on a lot with our clients is, we're realists.
Yeah.
We know that you need to have the right mindset in order to be persistent and, in particular, resilient, and have the right mindset to look at, well, every downside, I believe, needs to be balanced out by an even better upside.
Absolutely.
But if we look at that and go, oh, something bad's happened, that's okay. Something good's around the corner. I'm like, no, broke town is around the corner. So the way that I look at it, and I've worked on this a lot with you, is when something down happens, it's now my absolute obligation and my responsibility as a CEO to go, well, this downside happened. What is the opportunity that I can create from that I need to work my butt off to make happen? Yeah. So that way, when I look at something down happening, I'm actively going, what's the flip side that I can actively create and really go after that? And Sarah and I, we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we were focusing on this with our team a lot. So things happen, challenges come up all the time in your business, and you can either look at it as, okay, this is a challenge, this is a downside. Like, we can kind of go on that downward spiral. Everyone on the team, oh, this bad thing's happened with a client or something like that. Something challenging has come up.
Right.
And instead of focusing on that, we shift our mindset and we go, cool, how can we turn this into an opportunity? How can we create more wins?
Yeah.
And the moment you start creating wins, every single person on the team is creating more wins. You have more momentum, and then you just growth explodes.
Absolutely.
So Ben, your story was really good about basketball before. Like, so you're dominating at under 18 level. Yeah. Okay. Then you stepped up the next evening at under 20 level.
No, so right up to the men level.
So that's okay. It's like could be 18 plus, like anything. Like these are gotcha. And then bigger crowd. So there's like a few things happening. So the environment's changed. Yeah. But also your perception of what's changed is mainly what's changed.
It was all in the head.
Because the reality is, like, if we think about this, like an 18-year-old gun is going to be faster and fitter than, let's say, a 35-year-old man. Okay, 100%. That's what I personally believe. Yeah. But like, hey, I could be wrong here, right? Like,
Sorry, all the 35 fit men.
Yeah, like right now we know that like Luke Hodge is still dominating, playing for Brisbane at 35 years old. Yeah. But like, I'm going to back an 18-year-old gun every single day of the week. But like, it's that mindset. Yeah. So what I want to talk about is, like, you went into that game going, how do I not fail? So, but all the brain hears is fail, 100%, right? And hold back. And you and I have worked on this together a lot. So I just want to talk about business for a moment. So a lot of the times, you watching this as a healthcare business owner, and certainly our clients, if you can relate to this, type in relate. What happens is you go into you go into your business and you're like, I just really hope this doesn't happen. So you're playing to avoid the problems, rather than going, let's play towards it and bring about those problems, but let's have a strategy ready in advance. So that when it does go wrong, which it will go wrong, you're playing into it, go, hey, that happened like I predicted, and here's my next strategy. Yeah. For example, when you're bringing about a leadership or a management change, we know that a lot of our clients, they're running their businesses on autopilot, right? And they start growing, and they're like, you know what? The reality is, and we're chatting about this today, Sarah, their teams have been underperforming for basically forever. Never been held to account. They're all in the friend zone. And then they realize, hang on, we could be earning 50% more revenue and helping our patients more if we actually held our team to account. Yeah. But they start doing it, and the team start giving pushback and resistance, and some even quit. Yeah. So the fear would be for our practice owners, hey, I don't want to manage a team because they might leave me. Yeah. So they're always like holding back in fearing that failure. And obviously they will fail, and obviously the team will leave. And that creates that reverberating circuit of, if I manage, they leave, if I manage, they leave. Rather than, if I manage properly and I know that people are going to leave and I got a strategy to bring in the right people, then they're up and away.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to share that, like the shift that Ben made with basketball and how that relates back to our clients as well. So I'm just going to move on from that story. We teach our clients to take on a victor mindset versus a victim mindset. We believe that everything happens because of you. It doesn't happen to you.
Absolutely.
And I'm not suggesting that bad things happen because you deserve that to happen to you. No. Not at all. But it happens because of your behavior. There's no doubt about that. And also how you bounce back happens because of you. So what sort of tips would you have for someone when something's going wrong for them? How can they take on that victor approach when things just feel so bad and they want to have a good old-fashioned whinge and that, you know, we all get like, how can we get them into a strong mindset where they're actually taking charge?
Yeah, well, first off, with the victim mindset, it's the most toxic thing that you could possibly enter into.
Yeah.
If there is one thing you're going to master at mindset, it's catching yourself when you're going into a victim mentality.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, if you're watching this, you're going to be thinking, I never enter into victim mentality. No, you'll hit victim mentality when the challenges come your way. It's about catching it early and knowing what to do. So in a victim mentality, the reason why it's so bad is you begin to lose all hope.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing I can do about this. And as soon as you start thinking there's nothing I can do, you become completely disarmed.
Yeah.
You don't think of strategies, you don't have creative ideas, you can't access genius space, you don't know who to talk to, whatever it may be. So when you hit victim mode, the major thing you got to focus on is, what can I control? Yeah. There'll be aspects, the challenge, you can't control that person's reaction to you, you can't control the market, but what can you control? Can you control your marketing? Can you control your approach? Can you look at a new strategy? And then you want to also start to think about, okay, so what do I have on my side?
Yes.
So not only what I can control, but also what do I have? And you begin to look at your inner resources, the resources of your team, and that does this powerful switch in the brain.
Yes.
When you focus on victim mentality, your brain goes, all the things I don't have, and you feel lack, and then all your creativity goes down, and it's been proven that you become stupid neurologically, because the fear, the stress makes your brain more stupid. So you want to focus on exactly, what do I have? When you start looking at those little things, team members, support, strategies here, who can I talk to, all those types of things, your brain opens up into creative problem solving mode. And that's what you were talking about before, is now how can we use this major challenge and flip it into something useful and beneficial that we wouldn't have had before. So it's about not closing your eyes to the challenge. It's about the challenge is there. How do I find solutions? How do I move forward? And then how do I turn this into something positive?
That is awesome. I absolutely love that. So thank you so much for answering that. So Sarah, I know you've got a really good question you'd like to ask Ben as well.
And I'd love to know, as we're going through in the comments, just type in victor if you're going to be a victor when you come up against different challenges, because I want you, we all fall into that victim mode. It's really catching it, like you said, Ben, and then flipping it and go, cool, what can I control right now? What's that next action I can take to really then just flip my mindset, go into problem solving mode instead of complaining, everything's happened to me, oh, the world's hard, business is hard, all of these things. Let's flip it. Just take that action, what you can control. For example, Tristan, when you were talking about, I'm afraid my team are going to leave, all of these things, that's quite common. I hear that a lot in healthcare. We hear that in our community as well, and we give our clients really the strategies to take control. So in that moment, if I'm scared that my team are going to leave, when I'm having a difficult conversation with them with change, hey, let's install this, instead of worrying about what your team are going to do if they're going to leave, think about, cool, if this happens, then what am I going to do next? Maybe I have my recruitment ad ready to go. If this person decides that they're not going to be on board, I've got my recruitment ad and I'm feeling confident in doing that because I know how to hire an A player that wants to be on board. Yeah,
like, I mean, if you live in fear and you're just holding back all the time, you're going to have a fearful life. And I don't know any leaders that are afraid that actually achieve greatness.
No, not at all. And we talked about that in terms of change. Change is really hard in business, especially even as humans, we hate change. Whenever someone puts something in front of me, I want to do this, I'm like, oh, no, I want to just stay here and keep it easy. And change is really hard. People play it safe a lot of the time, don't they, Ben? And when we do install change, a lot of strategies with our clients, they feel, oh, I'm not really confident in doing that. What will my team say? They'll say, I'm scared about what my team are going to say. I'm just going to play it safe.
Fear of pushback, fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. I'm just going to play it safe or fall back into my old habits. And that happens with team as well. If we're trying to train them in new strategies, they always revert back to that old behavior, which is easier. So what I'd love to know is, what are some of the biggest roadblocks that you see when you come across with people making change in their business?
Yeah, it's always the perceived pain, isn't it? The perceived fear of, if I do that, it's going to equal this pain in terms of this team member will kick back at me or whatever.
And it's always disproportionate too in their head, isn't it?
Of course, because their mind's taking this molehill, making it a massive mountain. So that's really the thing, it's the perceived pain of it. So what I want to say on this is, hard is always the way forward. Hard is the way forward. So if you're stuck in a comfort zone, the challenge with comfort zones is you've already built up a whole bunch of habits, and that's why it is a comfort zone. But if you want to get the results that you want to get, hard is going to be the way forward, because in order to accomplish any goal, you need to grow.
Yeah.
You need to grow. So if you just stay and play safe all the time, play in comfort zones, you're only doing what you're already good at, which means there's no growth, and that means there's no accomplishment of those major goals. So when you think about hard is the way forward, what are those hard conversations that you're avoiding?
Yeah.
They're actually going to be the things that are going to grow you and grow the business the fastest. Yeah. What are the things that you procrastinate on and you're thinking, I'll look at that tomorrow, and you're avoiding? That's the hard thing that you really need to step into that's actually going to take you to another level. And you can actually train your mind to actually enjoy doing the hard things. You know, like a lot of the time people, when they try and change, they think that change is painful and hard.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy it. Because my mind's already set up that when I do this change and take this action, I'm seeing this benefit for me. I'm seeing this benefit for the team. I'm seeing this benefit for the business. Yeah. I'm seeing this greater level of impact. And you want to actually condition your brain under the hood and also on the surface about how can I actually enjoy taking these big, bold, smart, wise steps forward.
And strategic as well.
Absolutely.
So I just want to ask another question on that topic, if you don't mind. So when as you guys are listening, please give us a like, please share.
Yeah.
And if you're loving this, just type in love it. And we know this does apply to all of you guys. If you own a business, you want to take it to the next level, it's really important we take your inner game to the next level. So if everyone that's listening to this, either in the car, at the gym, walking their dog, or you're just watching us on live right now, they must be thinking, well, it makes so much more sense to be a victor and not a victim, which that's logical, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's totally logical. But the thing is, we aren't logical. So the reality is there is a payoff in being a victim.
Totally.
There absolutely is a payoff in being a victim. So people might go, well, hang on, well, I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. And like, I can tell you 3 instances today where I've seen my clients behaving like outright victims. And I know that, if they don't change that mentality, they're going to stay stuck and they're not going to go to the next level, because everything happens because of them, not to them, and how they respond makes a big difference. So here's a couple of things I see. I just want to talk about seeing victim behavior.
Yeah.
So like when I see a victim, it's like, oh me, poor me. Yeah. It's like everything's about them. If something goes wrong, it's like almost like that happened just to get me. Yeah. If anything goes wrong, it's never their fault. It's the fault of someone else, like total abdication of responsibility. Yeah. They'll always find an excuse where it's not a person, it's also the environment, but it's always just blaming someone else. They don't ever look at the strategy they've used or the way they've actually approached that strategy. So we all know people that do that. They possibly can't see it for themselves. But I'd like to know, what is the payoff in being a victim? Because there is a justifiable payoff. What is it?
Yeah, well, first as well, there's one more trait you'll notice when you're talking to a victim is anytime you give them amazing advice, they downplay it. Oh, that won't work for me. Oh, that's easy for you. You're really smart. You're really successful. You have the team for it. And there's always a downplay. So what was the question again?
So what's the payoff?
What's the payoff? Oh, of course. So you got to understand, right? There's human needs in the body and human needs in the mind, and people really want to feel this sense of significance.
Yes.
So what will happen is you can get significance by being really successful, and you can get significance by making a massive impact in life and in business, and be significant because of who you help and how you help them. Yeah. They're all really healthy things. But if you're not getting that, a really easy way for the brain to feel significant and important is, hey, look at my big problem.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me whinging. Hey, I'm going to make more noise because the squeaky wheel gets the attention.
Noise.
The squeaky wheel on that trolley gets all the attention. So all of a sudden then it's like, hey, I'm really struggling. And then all of a sudden you're trying to coach. You're trying to lead them out of victim. You're trying to give them what they need to hear. And then they downplay and then they pivot back to, but I've also got this problem. And then all of that. And then what's happening is there's a sense of look at me, which is the focusing on yourself, and it's that feeling of attention or significance, which long term is really toxic. Yeah. Because guess how many friends are going to have long term?
Not many.
They're going to start falling away. Even family members are going to start to eject themselves because every time you're around them, it's an atmosphere like a black hole. Yeah. They walk into the room, the lights go dim. The whole atmosphere feels like it changes, and this becomes toxic. So the payoff really is, and then this might be offensive if you're hearing this, but you probably need to hear it. If you're in the victim mentality, you're doing it to try and get self-worth, and you're trying to get significance, or you're trying to get attention, you're using a big problem or a big challenge to do it. But your life is going to be limited until you break that mentality.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm really glad that you said that, because there is a payoff. And they've got to break that. Yeah. Like when it's really interesting you say that, and like I can, from a personal share perspective, my friendship circle now compared to just 5 years ago is entirely different. Yeah. Because I have a zero tolerance policy for victims. Like if people complain to me, I'm like, that's great. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. And then if it's like, oh, nothing, it's just the way it is. Yep. I'm like, literally, I'm not going to hang out with them ever again. I mean, I don't have a formal meeting with them and say, hey, we're not going to be friends anymore. I just don't engage in interaction with them at all. Same thing with all people in my life, like, because they will just drag you down.
Yeah.
There's just no payoff for anyone else hanging around with the victim. The reality is business is hard. There's no doubt about that. But the results you get, they are up to you to go after and get, because everyone's in the same environment. It is hard. But a victor is always going to take charge, and they're always going to enjoy that challenge, which makes a really big difference. So I want to shift gears. I want to talk about information versus transformation. Okay, because before I met you, I had the information to change.
Yeah.
I'd read tons of information. In fact, I was really interested in neurolinguistic programming. A lot of people before they join me, they've already got access to information. But the reality is, like, getting that information, even I could literally give, and we have, by the way, just for people watching, we have people opt into our program, try to become, they pretend to be clients because they want to take our strategies, because we're the biggest coaching company in Australia, period, and we're the biggest coaching company worldwide in healthcare. And people want to join our company because they think if they can take our information, they can replicate what we have. The reality is, I could leave a step-by-step Bible on how we've created a company worth over $10 million now, and they still would absolutely mess it up royally. Because the reality is growth and getting that transformation, it's about transformation, not information.
Absolutely.
So can you just speak to that for a moment? Like, people now have this information, oh great, I get it, I want to be a victor. I'm like, well, whoopee-doo-dah. You need to actually bring about a transformation. Information, we're not in the information age anymore.
No.
We're in the transformation age.
Absolutely.
Information is cheap, if not free.
Yeah, on the internet, you can get information anywhere you like.
Yeah,
Let's talk about making a transformation.
exactly. We're in the transformation era. So let's talk to that point, if you don't mind.
So let's say this, right? If, as you say, not only if you gave them the step-by-step Bible on how to do this thing, if someone actually goes, actually, I would love Tristan's business. I love watch this podcast. Like, cool. We substitute Tristan out and we put you in. How long is that business going to thrive for?
Yeah, not very long.
Because this is the thing is, like, in order to have a $10 million business, you need to be able to carry the weight and also the ability to make that happen. There's an interesting stat where I think it's about 80 or 90 something % of lottery winners are broke completely within a few years. It's because they didn't grow into the person who can manage that money and live that lifestyle well. It's the same with the big statistic in basketball players. In the NBA, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, crazy money.
A few years later, they're completely broke and they have no money, and it's because they didn't actually grow into the person who can operate at that level. And that's why, again, it's the information. You'll have all the tools and you'll have all that. It's being about, how do I become the person who can make that happen consistently? I need to become different and grow to actually be the person who can actually activate and apply everything they're learning.
Yes, and I believe a lot of that comes down to like high level of repetition, which brings about the right habits and then the right identity shift as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And talking about identity shift, Tristan, we give our clients a whole heap of different tools so they can make that identity shift. When they first join our program, they go through a 30-day identity shift.
Very powerful.
It's very, very powerful, where they're shifting from, from friend zone to really manager with their team, and how can they break all of these old habits, get out of that victim mode when things come up, and we give them the tools to go, all right, when that happens, this is what I'm going to do instead.
Powerful. And changing also from like clinician into the CEO mindset. And if you don't believe that your identity is trapped right now by your profession, just ask yourself, what do you routinely answer when someone says, what do you do? So for example, if you're a dentist, you likely say, oh, I'm a dentist. So I challenge you for the next 30 days to, instead of saying I'm a dentist or I'm a this or I'm that, to say, I own a dentistry clinic, or I'm the CEO of XYZ Dental. So whenever people say to me, hey, Tristan, what do you do? I say, I'm the CEO of Practice Acceleration. So I've immediately said, like, you should know who my company, in that sentence, I've incepted that they should know who my company is. They're not asking me another question. They're going to go and research it, and they're going to come back about the difference we make or things like that. But if I said, oh, I'm a coach, or I'm a marketer, or I'm a consultant, it's not very empowering for my identity. So I'm the CEO of Practice Acceleration.
I love the one when we talk to our clients as well. They say, an example, when you're a physio, Tristan, you say, I'm a physio, and then everyone's like, oh, awesome. Can you do my neck and my back and do all of these things, which is hilarious. Versus if you said, I own a physiotherapy business, they're not going to come up and say, come massage my back and my neck. It's so funny.
Exactly. It's an entirely different conversation. So like I was at dinner again on Sunday night with some friends, and there's a couple of new people that are invited, and hey, Tristan, what do you do? I'm the CEO of Practice Acceleration. And it's a different conversation to like, I'm in marketing, or, oh, what do you, like if I said, like, you could experiment with this. And if I said I was in marketing, they'd be like, oh, I mean, I've done this before. Well, I'm on Facebook. I don't think it works. What do you think? And I'm like, well, yeah, I've got 5 million reasons to prove why it does work over the last 24 months alone. So yeah, it absolutely works. But when I say I'm the CEO of Practice Acceleration, the conversation goes, oh, fantastic. Do you have some advice to me on how to scale my company? It's a proactive, driven conversation towards like people are going, hey, this guy believes in himself. I wonder if he can give me something to help me believe in myself more. But when you talk about you're a thing, people just want to challenge your thing, or they're going to try to find some commonality that relates back to your thing, which isn't going to be progressive for you and your business.
Absolutely. Can I say one thing as well?
Please.
If you don't change the identity thing, then what's going to happen as soon as you start to get to the edge of your comfort zone, what do you think you're going to revert back to?
You're going to pull back.
That which you know, which is, again, okay, I'm going from, if you're just a clinician and then you're giving the strategies to build an amazing business and CEO, all of a sudden things hit the fan, the stretch comes, they're going to revert back to, no, this is who I am. And then your brain's going to want to automatically act in line with who you think you are.
Yeah, 100%. It's really funny that you say that. Like, it's so true. It is so true. So what you will also notice, just this is like outside the scope of what we're going to talk about today, people that don't accept your new identity, you're going to have to leave them by the wayside.
That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let them go. So time to move on. Not some, maybe more passively than actively. Just move on from those people. So we do a lot of shifts inside our program. One is the 30-day identity shift. We also go through a number of hacks. We also do something really cool in the morning, Sarah. What is it we do in the morning?
Yeah, our morning success routine, and our team all do this as well, and they love it. So I want you guys to install one as well. We just get clear on what our goals are for the day. Who do we need to be for that day? How do we need to show up? And we go through a series of other things that we go through each and every single day. Yeah,
it's really cool. We do it again in the afternoon as well. And we also set a lot of challenges to actually challenge that new identity. We provide the tools and the skills for our team to create that new identity. And we also do exactly the same thing for our clients. So I know we want to get some other tips from Ben. So Sarah, do you want to jump in and ask Ben about this one?
Yeah, I'd love to know, Ben, what is the number one tip that you could give to people listening to this, maybe in the car, or if they're at home, or if you guys are watching it on the live, just type in hey.
Or on IG, hello to you guys.
On IGTV, because you gave this hack to us, and I love this hack.
Me too.
And our team, once you gave it to our team, they just thought it was amazing, but they were walking tall. They were coming in every single day, so confident. They were totally different. It was crazy by this one little hack. So I want you guys to share that with everyone on here as well.
Yeah. And when you walked in today, you said the same thing to me. Like, your team are different. Yeah. Like, not only like they're dressed impeccably, they're walking tall, they're talking the part, they're carrying themselves differently. And you said, hey, this is different. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it feels amazing. Yeah. So what was it you shared with us?
So absolutely. So let me just frame it by this. It's really simple, but if you do it, it's powerful. It's only if you do it is it powerful. But let me frame it by this. As a leader, as a business owner, you cannot afford to hope you're going to feel good when you walk into your workplace. You just can't afford it. If you wake up in the wrong side of the bed, you have a late night, there's no days off. There's no days where you can come and be a subpar leader. So we need to be super intentional about when we're arriving as the best version of ourselves. Correct. So what I want you to do is this, right? Confidence has a mindset, it has an inner strength, and it also has a body language. Yes. So if you can walk in every single day in a bulletproof, confident, unshakable kind of attitude and state, not only are you going to perform better, feel better, but your team are going to see that, and because you're the leader, they're going to follow that same thing as well. So this is what I want you to do, is every morning, you're going to arrive to work 5 minutes earlier than usual. You're going to park the car, you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to purposely put on a confident state of mind. Now, if you've never done this kind of stuff before, it's going to feel really different to feel confident on purpose without no external stimulus. No one to pat you on the back, no one to give you a high five, say you're amazing.
You can tell yourself you're amazing. You look amazing today as you look in the mirror. Damn, you look good. You've been working out.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll help. But at the same point, it just comes down to close your eyes, and you have to replay in your mind memories and moments where you felt super confident, or you had major wins, times when you just felt incredibly empowered and unstoppable. Just by you replaying the memories in your mind, what's going to happen is your emotions are going to begin to rise up, and you're going to begin to feel that feeling again. It's not just enough to feel the feeling. You got to hold your posture in that way. If you ever see someone in victim mentality, how's their posture? Slumped down, looking down, hardly any eye contact. If someone's really anxious and stressed, they're darting with their eyes, they're looking around, they're sketchy. So you'll find that confidence, if you hold yourself in that posture, hold yourself up, the look on your face, the posture, that triggers that pathway in the brain to release confidence. Even if you're not feeling it, you're opening those pathways to the brain. It's time to get confident now. I'm remembering the feeling. I'm even putting on a really good song if I need to make myself feel really pumped up.
But I'm just, your anchor song.
Absolutely. So I've got the music playing, I've got the posture there, and I'm just repetition. Get that confidence feeling by positive memories, strong memories, winning memories, confidence there. And then the last thing you want to do to top it off, when you walk into your office, your eyes are not allowed to look down at all.
Yes.
Strange thing.
Yeah, you might think that's really easy, but we role played it a heap with our team here, and it was so funny.
It's
we had
amazing.
heaps of fun.
Everyone just looks down.
Everyone looks down when they walk in the room. Your eyes dart down. So just walking in with your eyes straight up, looking way confident. It's awesome.
It's a bizarre brain hack. It's just a really bizarre. They found that confident people, when they walk into the room, because they're ready to own the room and they're not apologetic for who they are, what they're going to do, what they're going to bring. Their eyes are up. This is my space. And you can actually hack that by training yourself. When you walk through any door frame, your eyes stay up. You'll find, if you notice people who are shyer or nervous, or they shrink back commonly, or even just out of just habit of it, they're not intentional about their state. They'll walk in and they'll flicker their eyes down, or they'll come in with their head down. And it's then there's almost like apologetic, sorry to be here. None of that from anymore. Anytime you walk through through the door frame, and you walk into your office.
You walk through that damn door with confidence. Bang off the
Smash the door. Yeah. You walk through. Every time you walk through a door frame, your eyes are up and you're embodying the posture, and you're training that state. What will happen is, if you practice this, the mastery ninja level is, in the end, I'm at this level now. If I need to amp my confidence up, I know what the feeling feels like. I can turn it on. I can turn it on.
On demand.
It's on demand. I'm like, okay, the nerves are there, so I want to counterbalance the nerves with more confidence. I'm turning on that state. I'm holding myself there, and then I'm walking in like a boss.
And I've seen this at events when you and I, we're hanging out at the back, we're having a coffee, and we're just talking about how we're having a lot of fun. And then we're like, okay, cool, let's both get in state. And then like the next minute I see you're on stage, and it's like, bang, it's game time. Like you're a totally different human. And it's all it's taken you is like 60 seconds, and like you bang, and you're on the stage, and I'm watching from the crowd, and you're just exploding.
Yeah, you just get, the more you do this, the faster you learn to flick the switch. And you can flick the switch when you're really low, or anything else when you get really, really good at this method.
And that's the thing though, Ben. A lot of people do it once. And then they go, cool, now I'm going to be more confident. But every single day you need to do it.
We do it every day.
Every single day. If you think, all right, I'm going to do this one time and I'm going to be so confident and walk in the room, it doesn't happen. Especially when challenges come up, you need to be able to do it every single day so you can train your brain in that.
You can't build muscle by doing one workout. This is a muscle in your brain that you're training. So you have to hit the gym of your brain every single morning before you walk in.
So guys, like, note that down. Do that every single day. Like, we do that. We swear by it. Like, we experience it. We do it every single day, and we absolutely love it. And like Sarah said, you can't stop and start with this. Like, you've got to commit, and like Ben said, it's actually like committing to a fitness routine. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up in a moment. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. This is an incredible episode. You can find Ben at the High Performance Movement. Guys, if you've got any questions for us about today's episode, you can pop them into the feed and ask us any questions, and we'll circle back and help you out personally. So we're going to wrap up episode number 99. We'll see you guys at the big 100 coming up next week. We've got quite a surprise coming up for the 100th. I'm really excited to reveal that to you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you guys in next week's episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.